Good afternoon, students. Today we'll continue with the same ninth chapter, that is in depository system. So before we begin, we'll have one quick recall what we have learned in the previous session, that is in constituents of depository system and concepts related to the depository system. Now constituents of depository systems were nothing but the very first was the depository, second one was the depository participant, third one was the beneficiary owner, and fourth one was the issuer company, the company who issues the shares. Then we have seen the different concepts related to the depository system. The very first concept was about the dematerialization. Then we have learned about the rematerialization. It's an opposite dematerialization, which where the physical certificate is converted into electronic mode, and in rematerialization the electronic certificate is converted into physical form. Fungibility, third point. And last but not the least, that is an international security identification number. We have also seen one number with an example, ISIN number, which is given by the SEBI itself, and it will identify this with that particular shareholder with this particular unique number. Now, as we all know, the government, the education department, has reduced some of the portion. So, in this particular chapter 9.6, we have to delete from this particular year syllabus. And today we'll move to 9.7 point, and we'll learn about the depositories in India, that is NSDL and CDSL. We will also learn about the distinguish between the dematerialization and rematerialization, and different abbreviations, meanings of terms used in this particular chapter. There are many different new legal terms which you must have not heard previously, but in this chapter whatever different words we have learned, the concepts which we have learned, will see the meaning. So let us move further. So the very first is the depository in India. Now this particular depository model adopted in India provides for the competitive multi-depository system. There can be various entities providing depository services. Such system is known as multi-depository system, which means this particular depository system is providing you the different multiple of services to the investor and even to the company. Now at present, two depository systems are registered with SEBI, that is the Security Exchange Board of India. Under this, there are only two major depository. So let us move further and learn what are they. Now the deposit system in India, this particular depository act was of 1996 paved the way for the establishment of the depository in India. In India, there are two depository which exist are NSDL and CDSL. Now NSDL is nothing but the National Security Depository Limited, and CDSL is nothing but the Central Depository Service Limited. So let us learn both the things in detail. Now the very first is the NSDL, that is a National Security Depository Limited. It is the first and the largest depository in India and established in the year August 1996. Now it has 288 depository participants, that is DP, has on 21/9/2013. This is a record of 2013. Till that time there were 288 DPs. Now this is an address given over here where this particular NSDL is located in Mumbai along with the website. So if in future if you wish to go and visit over there, you can go over there. Even you can see the website. In the website you will get the entire detail of the NSDL, how does it work. So there are different promoters of the NSDL, that is an Industrial Development Bank of India, Unit Trust of India, National Stock Exchange of India, that is IDBI Bank, IDBI, UTI and NSE. These are the different promoters of the NSDL, which plays a very important role along with the National Security Depository Limited. Now there are different shareholders of NSDL. Likewise, when this particular company has been started, this particular security exchange board of exchange has been started, so during that time these different companies have given support to them in form of shareholder, that is an State Bank of India, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank, HDFC Bank Limited, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporate Limited, Deutsche Bank, Dena Bank, Canada Bank, Union Bank of India, Axis Bank of India. So these are the different shareholders of the NSDL. Now NSDL is it has its headquarters in Mumbai. The biggest branches there in Mumbai. As I have shown the address also and website also, you can visit over there anytime. It is a public limited company registered under the Companies Act 2013. It provides various services to investors like stock exchange, bank issuers, clearing members, etc. It also renders services like account maintenance, dematerialization, rematerialization, settlement, transfer, transmission, freezing, locking, grievance, etc. Now these are the different services provided by the NSDL to both the parties, that is and to the company also, that is an issuer, and to the beneficiary owner, that is an investor. Now as we all know, when we open a bank account, so whenever we go to the bank, whenever we visit to the bank branch, there we have got different services provided by the bank. Like you have the facility for the passbook, you have the facility for the credit card, debit card, check. If the check whatever the balance is, the balance is very less, and you're holding the current account, then you get the OD facility, you get the loan facility, housing loan, education loan. So these are the different services by the provided by the bank. Same way, now these are the different services rendered by the NSDL to the investor and to the company. Like I have opened my demat account and I wanted to know what is the dividend or interest as per my investing has been collected. So I can take the details from the NSDL directly through online. Directly they will mail me or send me update my with the unique number account, and I can log in and I can see all the details. और else सेटलमेंट कैसे करना है, अगर मुझे शेयर सेल करना है तो कितना पैसा मेरा आया, कितना लॉस हुआ, वो पूरा सेटलमेंट करके वो क्लियर करके दे सकते हैं. और एल्स ट्रांसफ़र, वी हैव लर्नड अबाउट द ट्रांसफ़र ऑफ शेयर्स एंड ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ शेयर्स. जहाँ पे अगर शेयर्स मुझे ट्रांसफ़र करना है किसी और को, किसी और के नाम पे, तो जो भी प्रोसीजर रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, जो भी फॉर्मेलिटीज़ है, उसमें वो मुझे हेल्प कर सकते हैं, गाइड कर सकते हैं. दे कैन प्रोवाइड मी द सर्विस. और इन द केस ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ शेयर्स, अगर मैं शेयर होल्डर हूँ या मेरी डेथ हो जाती है, इंसेन हो जाती हूँ, इंसॉल्वेंट हो जाती हूँ, तो इन दैट केस जो भी मेरा नॉमिनी होगा उसको वो पूरे शेयर्स कैसे ट्रांसमिट होंगे. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड बाय द NSDL. सो लेट अस मूव फर्दर. Now second is the CDSL. Now the Central Depository Service Limited. Now this particular is the second depository in India, and it was formed and registered in the year 1999, and it has 579 DPs as on 21/9/2013, and it also has an office in Mumbai. As we have seen that this is a this particular CDSL also have the head office headquarter in Mumbai, and the address is given over there. The website is also there. Students, whenever you get a time, you can just visit the website at least. There you can get some of the knowledge about the CDSL and NSDL. No need to log in, no need to sign in or sign up. Just go through it. You will get lots of information through this website also. And after this pandemic time is over, lockdown is over, after all this thing is finished, and in future whenever you get a time during or after your 12th standard, once do visit to this particular place so that you can get more and more knowledge if you're interested in investing your money in the share market. Now there are different promoters of the CDSL like Bombay Stock Exchange Limited, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, State Bank of India, HDFC Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, Canara Bank, Union Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, the Calcutta Stock Exchange Limited. So these are the different promoters of the CDSL. Now there are different shareholders of CDSL who are holding the shares under the Central Depository Limited, that is in Standard Chartered Bank, Centurion Bank of Punjab Limited, Canara Bank, Union Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited, the Calcutta Stock Exchange Association Limited, and others. So these are the different shareholders of CDSL. Now it was promoted by the Bombay Stock Exchange jointly with the several banking banks. So this particular, when it began in the operation in the year 1999 in the month of Feb, it has a major it has its own headquarters in Mumbai. Now CDSL has a wide DP network and offers the DMAT service similar to NSDL across the country. Now this is the difference between the NSDL and CDSL. Now this particular will provide the services across the country. Same way NSDL will provide this particular service across the world. Only this is the difference, but otherwise the work done by both the depository is same. Has NSDL vendor the different services, same way CDL also vendors different services. So I hope this both the points are clear to all. So let us move further. Now we'll learn about the distinction between dematerialization and the rematerialization. This question is asked in board exams many times. So if you all can remember all the 6 points, it will directly you will get 4 marks. As per the new paper pattern, distinguish between has the marking system has been reduced. Now from this year onwards you will get distinguish between for 4 marks, so you can write maximum 6 points. So all the simple 6 points are there. So we'll quickly learn one by one all the points, and we will memorize right now itself, so that during the exam it won't be difficult for you all. Because once you memorize right now, once you understand the concept, it becomes it becomes fit in your mind, and during the exams you may remember some of the points. So the very first point is meaning. It's very simple. This particular process under the dematerialization, the particular process of converting physical certificate of securities into electronic form. बहुत सिंपल है. डीमैट अकाउंट मुझे ओपन करना है, मेरे पास फिजिकल सर्टिफिकेट है, उसको मैंने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया डीमैट अकाउंट ओपन करने के बाद. रीमटेरियलाइजेशन में उसका ऑपोजिट होता है. ऑनलाइन मेरा है, ट्रांजेक्शन सब किया हुआ है, डीमैट अकाउंट है मेरा, उसमें मेरे सब शेयर सर्टिफिकेट्स है, पर मुझे वो फिजिकल फॉर्म में चाहिए, तो आई विल कन्वर्ट. देयर इज एन प्रोसेस ऑफ कन्वर्जन फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म टू securities into physical form. Second one is the conversion. Now here the paper form of security is converted into digitally electronic held securities, where I am converting my paper into digital form. On the other hand side, the electronic records are converted into physical form security. जहाँ पे मेरे पास डिजिटली तो सब रिकॉर्ड है, पर मुझे वो फिजिकल फॉर्म में चाहिए. Third one, use of the form. Now there are 2 forms which we use. The very first is for dematerialization, that is an DRF, dematerialization request form, where the investor will give to the DP कि मुझे जितने भी मेरे शेयर्स हैं उसको आप डीमैट अकाउंट में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दो. सेकेंड वन इज द RRF, that is an rematerialization request form from investor to DP. Now this form we will fill and we will give all the details, and we will submit it to the DP for the further process. Next is the sequence. Now this is the initial process. It is a primary and principal function of the depository. On the other hand side, this is a reversal process. It is a secondary and supporting functions of the depository. Already demat securities are remated. नाउ प्राइमरी फंक्शन है, हाँ मुझे अगर आज अपना एक डीमैट अकाउंट ओपन करना है तो दिस इज़ अ वेरी प्राइमरी फंक्शन कि हाँ मुझे ओपन करना है एंड आई एम परचेसिंग द शेयर्स एंड ऑल द रिकॉर्ड्स विल बी इन द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म. बट उसी को अगर मुझे फिजिकल फॉर्म में करना है तो वो रिवर्स प्रोसेस हो जाता है. सो फॉर दैट वी रिक्वायर्ड अ रीमैट. Next is an identification of securities. Now where in this particular dematerialization, demat securities have no distinctive numbers. They are fungible in nature. उनके पास कोई सीरीज वाइज नंबर नहीं होता है क्योंकि ऑनलाइन इतने सारे लोग एट अ टाइम लॉग इन करते हैं, शेयर्स परचेज करते हैं, सेल करते हैं. तो इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द कंपनी to maintain the record of this in the series or in the distinctive numbers. On the other hand side, certificates are there in the hand. You have in that particular certificate all the details are mentioned, that is in distinctive numbers from where to where, how many shares are there, what is the value of the share, what will be the dividend, everything is mentioned in the share certificate itself. So this particular is issued by the company to the individual person, individual investor. So it becomes easy. बट अगर मुझे ऑनलाइन पूरा वर्ल्ड में अगर मैंने अपना शेयर सेल किया है तो बीइंग अ कंपनी इट बिकम्स डिफ़िकल्ट फॉर मी to give the distinctive number to each and every one. Last one, difficulty of process. Now in demat it's a very easy process. Nowadays we are seeing everything has gone online easily. With a click of button you can order anything, you can place an order for your food, cake, dresses, anything you want, electronic items, anything you want. It's so handy and it's a simple process and it's not a time consuming. It saves lots of time. आपका टाइम बचता है, पैसा बचता है, एनर्जी बचता है. क्योंकि अगर आपको एक चीज़ परचेस करनी हो तो आप नीचे मार्केट में जाओगे, अपना टाइम निकालोगे और फिर अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट टाइम वो दुकान वो टाइम पे ओपन होनी चाहिए. आपके पास अगर कैश हाथ में नहीं है तो फिर आप बैंक में जाओगे, कैश विड्रॉ करोगे, तो बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग हो जाता है. पर अगर आप ऑनलाइन सब कुछ करते हो तो विद द क्लिक ऑफ बटन एनी टाइम 24/7 you can get things handy. On the other hand side, it's a complex process and it's a time consuming. Now as I gave you the example कि अगर मुझे कुछ परचेज करना है तो बहुत लेंदी प्रोसेस होता है, कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है. कभी कभी हेल्थ भी ख़राब हो जाती है. हम लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि अरे मुझे एक चीज़ लेना था लेकिन मैं अभी मार्केट में गई हूँ तो और भी 2-4 चीज़ें उठा के लेके आते हो. और स्पेशली ये होता ही है वेन एवर वी आर गोइंग टू द मॉल. मेरे साथ तो पर्सनली होता है कि अगर मैं अगर डीमार्ट गई हूँ और मुझे 1-2 चीज़ लेनी है तो उसके बदले मैं 10-12 चीज़ उठा के लेके आती हूँ और फिर मुझे आके लगता है कि अननेसेसरी मेरा पैसा वेस्ट हो गया. सो इट बिकम्स वेरी ईजी, सिंपल व्हेन वी आर डूइंग इट ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग. तो सेम वे इट गोज़ विद द shares also. Whenever you are using the online shares, you're purchasing or selling the online shares, so it becomes very easy and convenient for everyone and it saves lots of time. आज अगर पूरा दिन अगर मैं बिज़ी हूँ और मुझे कोई चीज़ मंगानी है, मैं भूल गई हूँ, तो रात को तो दुकानें खुली नहीं होगी, तो ऑब्वियसली मुझे वो सुबह तक वेट करना पड़ेगा. बट ऑनलाइन अगर आप बुकिंग करते हो, ऑनलाइन अगर आप ऑर्डर करते हो तो मिडनाइट ऑल्सो यू कैन गेट अप एंड यू कैन प्लेस एन ऑर्डर. सो immediately everything work out smoothly. So I hope this is clear to everyone, the distinguish between the dematerialization and rematerialization. I want everybody to write down this distinguish in your book. This question can be asked in your board exams for 4 marks and maximum you need to write 6 points. It's very easy and it's very simple. So I hope you all have understood this particular distinguish between. So let us move further. Now this is a slide where we are going to learn about the meanings of different words and terms which we have learned in this particular chapter. Now the very first word is custodian. Now the custodian means what? A person who is responsible to take care of protecting something. Second is mutation, serious damage on something. Dematerialize, now replace physical record on certificates into electronic mode. Rematerialize, that means converting electronic mode into the physical form. Abolish, which means formally put to an end, that is termination. Merger, that is a combination of two things where the company can merge into one. कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि हीरो होंडा, दे आर टू कंपनीज, अभी वो दोनों अलग हो चुकी है तो मर्ज भी किसी और के साथ वो हो सकती है. So that's nothing but the combination of two things, especially in the companies when they are coming into together, they are merging into two different categories. Now next word is acquisition, an asset or object brought or purchased. Next is redemption, that is repurchase, repay. Lapses, that is an interval or a gap. Bylaws, which means an regulations or rules made by an authority. Now there is certain authority who always makes the law. Tie up, a link or a connection, especially one between company. Now there is a tie up between two companies, so there is a link for that particular connection. Intermediary, which means a person who acts as a link between the people, a mediator. Unique, which means a special, uncommon and a different. Next one is the simultaneously, which means at the same time. Fungible, which means replaceable by another identical item, mutually interchangeable. We have also seen the example of land and note, so you can go through that previous video if you have not understood the meaning in detail of the fungible. Beneficiary, a person derives advantage from something, that is an investor. Mutually felt or done by two or more people on group in same way. Grievance, which means an complaint, wrong, injustice. अगर आपको लगता है कि मुझे कंप्लेन करना है तो दैट पर्टिकुलर मीन्स एन ग्रीवेंस इन द law. Now these are the different abbreviations which we have learned in this chapter, that is NSDL, National Security Depository Limited, CDSL, which means Central Depository Service Limited, SEBI, which we have already studied, Securities and Exchange Board of India, DP, that is a depository participant, BO, which means a beneficiary owner, DMAT, which means a dematerialization. So if you all want, students, you all can take the screenshot for your further reference. Otherwise all the things are there in the textbook. So let us move further. Now REMAT, which means a rematerialization. Next is an NBFC, that is a non-banking financial company. DRF, this is an DMAT request form. Next is the RRF, which means a REMAT request form. Next is an ISIN, it is an International Security Identification Number. This also we have learned in the previous session with one example, or else if you have not understood, you can go through page number 132 in your textbook. In the additional information box, you will get the entire detail of ISIN. Then we have also learned about the ISO, that is an International Organization for Standardization. Now we will have one quick recall what we have learned today. We have learned about the depositories in India, that is an NSDL and CDSL. Now NSDL and CDSL are the two depositories which exist in India and which was established by the way of establishment of Depository India under the Act Depository of 1996. Now NSDL have different promoters, that is an IDBI Bank, UTI, National Stock Exchange. Now same way CDSL have their different promoters which has been operated since 1999 and which means Central Depository Service Limited. We have also learned about the distinguish between the dematerialization and rematerialization. Then we have seen the different meanings of terms used in this chapter. Then last but not the least, we have seen the abbreviations. I hope you have been clear with each and every point. So if you have any doubt related to anything, you can drop down the message. We will discuss about that particular point. With this, we have completed with the chapter number 9. The ninth chapter is completed from my side. So the assignment for the day is write down all the question answers given in the textbook at the end of the chapter. You need to skip that particular point, that is 9.6, which is not there for this year in your syllabus. So except that questions, you need to write all the questions answers in your book. It's a very easy chapter. Once again I'm telling you all, this particular chapter will come for 7 marks without option, and with option it's for 11 marks. It's an easy and a small chapter. There are only few different terms used in this particular chapter. If you are clear with all the terms, you can write down any answer related to this particular chapter. So with that very beautiful quote, we'll wind up the session over here. I have learned that I still have a lot to learn. So every day life is teaching you something. We have to learn from each and every thing. So thank you so much, students. God bless you all, and see you in the next session. If you have any doubt, you can drop down the message. We will discuss and clear your doubts. Thank you so much.